Okay, Belgium-Romania has just concluded. It's finished 2-0 to Belgium. It was 1-0 at half-time. Finally, Belgium have put in a decent performance for the first time, in my opinion, since 2018 at tournament football level. Great in qualifiers. We know the quality they have, but the last couple of tournaments, they have, in my opinion, really underperformed. Goal scoring has been an issue for Belgium. Not tonight. They scored literally with the first shot on target from Tielemans. And if you remember Leicester City winning that FA Cup, it's almost a carbon copy of his goal in the FA Cup final a few years ago for Leicester City. It's a brilliant finish. His technique is... Tielemans' shooting technique is you have to study it. It's something different. The way he can lean back like that and still keep the ball low is ridiculous. And the power he gets behind it as well. It's a fantastic finish, but it's great build-up play. And Belgium literally came out the blocks like a freight train. Romania just could not live with them in that first half. They were the second best team. Belgium, however, took them a while to get that second goal, and they've had a goal disallowed yet again, and it's Lukaku, and it's offside. Now, as I say, it was 1-0 at half-time. Belgium dominating the play. Romania did respond pretty quickly after the goal, I will admit that. But Belgium were the better side, clear and obvious. It's a shame they couldn't perform like this in the opening game against Slovakia. They were very sluggish against Slovakia, but in this game they were on point literally from the first whistle. Now, second half, the Lukaku goal that's been ruled offside. That is ridiculous. Technically, yes, his toe is about that much offside. If that is classed as offside now, the rule is broken. The VAR is correct. It does its job. It reviews it, and we can complain about VAR all we want, but with the current semi-automated and how it's been working, VAR worked. But if that is classed as offside, the game is going down a dangerous direction where is he really gaining an advantage from that? Really? I mean, we're talking millimetres there, and in my opinion, that's where a lot of the problems with the VAR and the interpretation and the change in the wording of the law of offside. Back in the day when I was a kid, it used to have to be clear space and benefit was given to the attacker. That is now gone. All it has to be now is your big toe offside. It's a great finish. But Lukaku's now had 3 goals disallowed via VAR for a handball and 2 offsides. That one, for me, I don't like the direction we're going with the offside rule and the handball rule now. Accidental handball seems to have disappeared altogether, which used to be an indirect free kick, regardless of where the incident took place. And deliberate handball was deliberate handball. That's been a contentious area for many years now. Offside, I feel sorry for Lukaku. I really do. You could argue De Bruyne's goal was potentially offside, but that was given, and that was 79 minutes. Now, De Bruyne, I think, that was his best game in a Belgian shirt at a tournament since, again, about 2018. Belgium have really underperformed at the last couple of tournaments. First game, they underperformed as well. They were sluggish out the gates, and then, they had the 2 goals ruled out against Slovakia, but they weren't great against Slovakia. Romania had their moments in this game. This wasn't all one-sided, but Belgium just did everything at pace. And I think making a few of the changes the coaching team did with the lineup and tactically, getting Doku on from the start was important. That just gave them another option, another outlet, and Romania couldn't deal with him. Tielemans had a very, very good game, both in attack and in defence, and De Bruyne was far more effective the further up the field he was. It was a very, very good performance from Belgium. Romania, look, they lost on the night, but because of that big win over Ukraine, their goal differential is still really good. It's still positive, which now means this group is completely wide open. Slovakia's goal difference is a dead net 0. Belgium's is a +1. Romania's is a +1. Ukraine are a -1 in goal differential. So this is really now going to come down to how the final 2 games in this group are played out. If they're both draws, I mean, we could really have a tough group to figure out who's going through to the next round. Romania technically are still, I would say, head-to-head Belgium are above Romania, but Romania, because they got 3 in the first game, this group has been blown wide open. This is possibly the hardest group to predict going through into the final phase of the group stage. But that was a fun game to watch. And my neighbour, who's Romanian, came over to watch the game with me, and he doesn't watch a lot of football, but he glued to the laptop. He was asking a lot of questions as well about why the goal was disallowed, uh, how this attack is formed. It was interesting having someone who doesn't regularly watch the sport asking questions as well, and especially someone who was invested, and he was properly invested from the moment he came over, which was just after the Tielemans goal, until full. He was invested. This is what sport can do, and it was fun watching the game with someone who was actually invested in one of the teams. It added a different dimension to the viewing spectacle, which was kind of fun. It's not often that I get to watch games with friends and neighbours. It's fun when like you have a friend come over and want to watch the game with you. It's just this is what sport can do. It can bring people together, and the atmosphere in the stadium was fantastic. There was rain before kick-off, and you could see also it was highly humid because the players were, well, Lukaku was sweating buckets. It was very obvious it was very humid in Cologne, which could have had an impact on how Belgium and Romania played, and why potentially Belgium being maybe slightly more experienced at this level, and slightly potentially playing at most of their players playing at a higher level. Potentially that could have had a bearing on it. Also, the pace of the game was fantastic. Another real high-paced game, a lot of action. And the referee, this is one thing I want to finish on. The referee let a lot of stuff go that other referees have pulled up for bookings. There were some tackles in there that weren't even fouls to this referee, whereas other refs have said, no, that's a foul, that's a free kick, that's a yellow card. Let a lot of stuff go in the first half that shouldn't have been let go. So did that help the game a little bit? I think it did, because the pace of the game was being played out was fantastic. Anyway, that's it for this evening. Tomorrow I'm going to take a break from the Euros. I'm going to watch the 6 hours of Watkins Glen, the IMSA endurance race, which is on at the same time as both games kick off. So I'm just going to give football I've had a bit of football fatigue, so I'm going to give the football a rest for tomorrow and then just get back on it for next week. But so far, great tournament. A lot of goals being scored. Only a couple of really poor games, which, and only 1-0 draw. So goal scoring has been high in this tournament, and I hope it continues to be at this level for the rest of the tournament. I want to have a look at the goals per game average as well. That's going to be fun to look at. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.